The show is called Awali 360. Awali is from Swahili. It simply means initially, like origin, like the first step. So the 360, I get it from all side of businesses. So I would like to be in contact with somebody who's in businesses and he can give his 360, like everything around the businesses. Hello guys, I really appreciate the presence here. Welcome to our connection again.
Thank you.
We're going to share this with Christian. I think Christian, you can start.
Well, I want to start by because we all know if you're following music, I don't know, like just basically what's your name and stuff like that. So
Sure. So my name is Roy, and I am a co-founder and co-CEO of Guapo Essentials.
Je m'appelle Guapo. Well, you know, Awali connection, I had to bring some small French, but that's all I know. So, please don't ask me more. Yeah, well, I did.
So he was actually understanding whatever you guys were saying.
No, hey, don't put me on the spot. Don't put me.
I was like, I heard un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six. Go ahead.
Well, honestly, you know, I did learn French growing up in Ghana and Botswana, but I don't remember most of it. So that's why I started off with Je m'appelle. But to just briefly introduce myself, my name is Guapo. That means handsome in Spanish. I am one of the I am the president and the founder and as well as the co-CEO of Guapo Essentials. And I'm also a content creator as well as a data analyst.
okay, so that means that you have some backgrounds on platform.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I really know like the channel you start on Instagram. I think it's started on Instagram or
That's a good question. It started on Instagram, but then obviously during the pandemic, when everyone was on TikTok, then we moved to TikTok, and ever since then, it's been a massive success.
like really. So how you guys started on this idea on sharing these different dialects or different ways of English?
So, you know, like...
And like you're referring to the Spicy Suya Boys, right?
Yeah, so you know it's Spicy Suya Boys, my best friend. He's from Nigeria, and we have known each other in high school for almost 12 years. So obviously back then, you know, in high school here in America, it was actually frowned upon to be African. When they see an African, they make fun of you. Oh, who's that African booty scratcher? You know, when you play the music, you see only Africans are dancing. Everybody just go away. So basically, when we started doing funny videos, and then from there we migrated to doing funny videos of different African countries. But for some reason, we were not doing Ghana and Nigeria, but most of our fan base were Ghanaians and Nigeria. We do Kenya, Tanzania, Congo, but they'll be like, those are funny. And we'll only have like, if we make a video of Tanzanians, we'll only have the Tanzanians follow. And it's like, we didn't want that. So one day we just said, you know what, let's stop running away from our culture. Let's do something Ghana and Nigeria. And even for that, for everyone, so that everyone can relate. And once we were our true selves and display that Ghana, Nigeria authenticity, boom, that's when we started to get people from all over the world to hear our story.
Because the first video I see both of you guys is just about like two accents between.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And
Yes.
I feel myself in the video.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy it.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
That's really cool.
Yes.
So in all that picture, though, I want to understand now, how does Roy squeeze into it?
Oh, man.
It's the beat.
Yeah, so this guy right here, I think I can say for the whole of humanity, everyone needs a Roy in their life. We met in high school the same time, senior year, and from there we've just really been...
It was actually junior year.
Junior year, like ending of junior year, but in the senior year, that's when we started to become more closer. You know, he's the type of dependable friend that if you're stuck on 635 and you call him like, hey, can you help me? Like he'll come and help you. And he was just there like from the beginning stages when we used to go to like modeling companies for and there was funny story. There was this time where I forgot the name of the modeling agency, but we brought him to represent us as a manager, and this was in 2014. And once we brought him, they just took us more seriously, and from then on, we've been incorporating him with him just helping behind the scenes, him acting as our manager sometimes, to now he's actually our manager, providing us with the legal framework and making sure that we do everything the right business way. So he fits in by being that integral part of dependability, consistency, and reliability. So he's a really great friend, and everybody in the world needs a Roy in their life.
I appreciate the compliment.
So I just have a question. I would like to know a little bit how, like, because last time when we've been to the think tank, I think you remember when we've been to think tank.
Yes.
So I see you have like a little bit more background also on like videography and those kind of stuff. So how do you like start on these journey?
Well, first of all, I'm going to go back to what you said earlier. The first step is just to take it. So him and I, we got into this business, into the beard care business back in 2021. And actually, as a matter of fact, we've been in like multiple businesses ever since we're like in high school, trying different things, trying to succeed in different things. But I think to answer your question, it's just doing it, just trying it, and knowing that you're gonna be, that there's a possibility that you can fail, and that's really it. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's just trying it.
Yeah, because the way that I see you like working over there, I was like, you like a pro.
Oh man, I actually have to credit Dennis. So Dennis, Guapo, and I and another partner, we have a company called Moon Vision. This was actually just incorporated a couple of days ago, as a matter of fact.
What were you guys playing on the business?
So there's multiple things involved, right? So obviously photography, videography, event coverage, and social media consultation, and eventually social media management. Which actually we may be even able to pick up a client or two, but we want to be make sure that we set up the framework.
I think we should work together.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, we definitely should.
Yes.
Opportunities.
Yeah, and like that's the beauty about like that things like the African think tank. Shout out to the African think tank for connecting all four of us here. Yeah, I really think Sidoni and everybody that participates in the African think tank really does a really good job. And for the listeners, if you've never heard of the African think tank, they're in Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, DMV, and they're expanding.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Yeah.
This is the product, right? Well, so let's start with the name first. Obviously, I have a beard, so I'm interested in the product. But let's start with the name first. Like, how did you decide what's going to be the name of the product? Because I don't know who started. I don't know how it came to be. I mean, I really like the name. And okay, I had to drop this. So when you told me that it was like Spanish in it, I was like, okay. Because like I said, I take some Spanish lessons, and I was talking about guapa.
Yeah.
And I have all these pictures, and he comes and says, "This is Spanish." I'm like, "Oh yeah." I love this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the main beauty of this is when you see something like this and you see a product that has a different name, it makes you to think. That was the main idea with Guapo Essentials, because when I was taking Spanish in high school, our Spanish teacher gave us an ultimatum. We all had to have Spanish nicknames. So at first, my Spanish nickname was El Jefe, which means the boss. But then after that, after a while, I was like, I'm not feeling it. So let me go with Guapo. As soon as I said Guapo, they're like, oh, you think you're arrogant. You think because Guapo means handsome. So from there, like my Instagram name, like my nickname, it was Guapo. So when I decided that, okay, we're going to create something that will help men regain their confidence, And obviously, when you have a beard, you see how like women, they'll be like, oh, you have a beard now? Like they always want to touch it, you know? It just adds to that confidence of who you are and the fact that you took the time to groom yourself, to go through those rough patches of growing your beard. So Guapo Essentials represents the handsomeness that derives from the confidence of you being patient and persistent enough to grow your beard, to groom your beard.
I just have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
So why Guapo?
Why Guapo? Because
Why this product?
why this product is because when I was first started growing my beard, I didn't know the right way how to grow a beard. I just knew that, oh, if you just keep on shaving and just let it grow, it'll be big. But that's not the case. I kept on shaving. One, I'll have skin bumps. Sometimes one side of my beard will be thick, the other one you see a patch, and you don't want to go out looking like that. That decreases your confidence. People will look at you and when you're talking, they'll just So I decided to take the time to research, read books, watch YouTube videos, and also consult with my mother because, you know, she's from Ghana and she has all those natural remedies. And then from there, every single day, I started like trying one thing, and then I finally put my own product together with West African ingredients and I made it by myself. And then from that, once I made it, I gave him a bottle. And then when I gave him the bottle, I was like, yo, this smells good. This is really great. And then at the time he tried it and his partner was like, wow, it looks really good on you. It really smells good.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, about 3 weeks ago, I shaved 2 weeks ago, I shaved everything off.
Yeah.
And it's just growing back. But I think, you know, just applying the product every day has been, you know, really helpful.
So now we kind of know the minds of the people behind the products.
Yeah, that's it.
Say, I want to have a bottle of this right now. Someone that's following want to have a bottle of this right now. Where do they go? What do they click? How do they get confident? How do they get Guapo? They're growing.
Well, first of all, it's going to be in the link in the description.
And then yes. Yeah, so to piggyback on that, I wanted to make a product that was safe, organic, and also had some of the West African culture, some of the African ingredients that will help men become confident, as well as the women, their spouses who have men that are trying to grow a beard or have a beard, just to make them feel like, wow, I'm really confident in who I am, and I'm also guapo.
Shout out to your mom, and I like that because, you know, sometimes they talk about moms as being the ones that's gonna make you dependent.
Yeah.
And I like that you talk about your mom as someone that kind of inspires you. Shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to you, mom. You know, there's one thing like people say, oh, Ghanaian men, you know, they are mama's boys. This Nigerian men, they just but in order to be that confident, humble man, you also need to learn from your mom because your mom is your first true love. And that love that a mom gives, you can't find it anywhere else. So I'm just really appreciative of my mom.
Okay. So, of course, you have the products, but it just didn't pop out in one night. So, trials, errors, like despair, needs to like quit, anything like that y'all face.
Oh my gosh. Probably.
Like, I'm confident, man.
Okay.
That's it.
So look, I want to be transparent because I know that some of your listeners are probably thinking about starting a business or have just started a business. Okay, we're starting with Christian, but you know, they're thinking about starting a business, and you know, obviously on TV or whatever, it's glamorized like, oh, starting a business, I'm going to become I'm going to become successful immediately or whatever. But we face a lot of challenges, and to begin with is whenever we use our initial capital, we were taking everybody's advice like, hey, well, you gotta go cheap. You have to like save as much money as you can. Well, we took that advice, but there's another piece to it is okay, you want to reduce your spending, but also think about the quality.
Mm-hmm.
So we faced a lot of challenges when it came to the labels, the boxes, the website. Oh, and it's countless of
I
things.
gotta tell you, I'm not cutting you, but this is really good. Like,
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
and like, just the product. It looks. I haven't used it yet, but I just look at it and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah. And
I feel like it's quality.
and essentially that's what we're aiming for, because I mean we learn from our mistakes, and we want to be that luxurious brand that anybody who sees it at the store is like, okay, the first thing that they think of is that's luxury. So anyway, so we ended up, we're going through this rebranding phase right now, and shout out to VB Designs who literally helped put all of this together in collaboration with all of us, and she really like helped, like redefined what we consider luxury in the beard care business.
So for now, how do you guys sell this product?
Right now we have pretty much every channel. So initially we were e-commerce only. We thought we were going to be successful doing e-commerce, you know, social media marketing, Facebook ads, anything that we can put our hands on to try to get the digital sales. But because nobody knows or knew who Guapo Essentials is or was or whatever you want to call it, they weren't purchasing. So again, I want to be transparent. So we
So I know what to say about digital marketing because I was watching a document last week that was explaining how the people that start new businesses spend so much in like digital marketing, and at the end of the day, they end up selling product because they have so much that they're doing on social media.
Mhm.
We try to look at how much they spend in those and the final costs. So it's not they don't make enough in terms of like return on investment.
Right.
So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so initially we were e-commerce only, and we would get a sale, maybe like one or two sales a week. Obviously, not enough to cover our overhead, so we had to continue to invest our own personal money. And then we came across, well, we were sort of thinking about it, but if you guys are in the US, there's a small business administration. They offer a free mentorship program called SCORE, and we ended up connecting with two great mentors, Tom and Chuck. Fantastic mentors. They top executives at Frito Lay and AT&T. Again, like, why are you only selling online? Nobody knows who you are. Like, it was the harsh reality that we needed to hear. So we started, looking up all these vendor events on Facebook and things like that. So first vendor event, we literally paid like I think like $40, and we got our own little booth. I mean, it wasn't the fanciest of things, but we put something together, and we were there for 4 hours. And in those 4 hours, I think we sold more that in those 4 hours than we had sold in one
Our
year.
entire existence.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just like
And yeah, and obviously at that point we weren't as confident as we were like when it comes to like speaking in public like about our product. And so obviously we started to develop the skill, right? But essentially we realized that if we wanted people to know our product, they had to know about who we are, what we represent, what our
Yeah,
product
that was my next question. I just want to know a little bit more the feedback from people who have talked about the product. Because it's really important. Product like this, we need to know that people, when they use it, they really get like a feedback about it.
Mhm.
So, do you guys receive some feedback about the product?
Tons of feedback, and tons of feedback that we've used for our product development research, such as, first of all, they're like they're like stuck to them. So like, okay, the name works, and it makes them ask questions. Also, when it comes to the smell, so the majority of our customers like the smell, but the one or two people that wouldn't buy from us, they're like, hey, would you consider doing, an unscented beard oil, or would you consider, yeah, or would you consider like around Christmas time doing something that my face can smell, my beard can smell like Christmas. So essentially, like little feedback like that, we would take into consideration, and also the types of products the accessories that they want for this beard care. Because right now we have two products. We have beard oil and beard butter, but but the only reason why is because we didn't want to go invest a whole bunch of money and not sell things. So what we did is we just started getting people's feedback, and if they were asking like, "Hey, do you have combs? Do you have brushes? Do you have derma rollers? Do you have this or that?" So we would take that feedback into consideration, and now we have a whole product schedule that we want to roll out. New products every certain period.
And people like it's funny how I was looking at again to go back to like this because I like to read about like businesses and read all this stuff, and I was looking at toothpaste and they're explaining how they barely change the ingredient. They don't. They just change the box.
Yeah.
It sells more.
Right. Yeah.
Then next year they write something new on the box and sells more. People are always looking for that additional thing on the side, and it sells more. It sells more, and yeah, I really like that. So, how the challenges go when it comes to like selling? Have you had to like spend money on making it accepted like big platforms or stuff like that, or are you trying to operate it differently? What is the tactic that you guys doing to like sell?
Because it's really important, for example, to put it maybe on Amazon, for example.
Yeah. So that's part of our next strategy. So initially it was e-commerce only, and then our next phase we jumped into in-person sales with the vendor events. Now we're once our rebrand is complete. Now it's just about distribution. So part of it is going to like small barbershops or beauty shops, and we're actually like on TikTok Shop and Instagram Shop and a couple other like those platforms. But we also want to continue. We want to go into the big retail stores, but which is part of the reason why we decided to rebrand is like if we want our product to look shelf ready, or if we want our product on the shelf, it needs to be shelf ready.
Absolutely. Guapo, I'm going back to you since you are like the chemist. Yes. How did you?
I like that, the chemist.
Because you're talking about advice and stuff, and I want to dig a little bit into it. Like, how did you decide what's going to be part of the products? How did you? I know you said you had some advice and stuff like that, but I mean, it takes more than that, right?
Right. It takes, yeah, it does take more than that, to be quite honest with you, because at the same time, you have to look at a whole different set of variables. You have to look at, okay, the hair texture of who I'm trying to market to. You have to know the background of the ingredients that they're using and the benefits that they serve. Like, for example, one of our consistent ingredients that are in there is jojoba oil. Not many people know about jojoba oil.
What is
You know?
jojoba?
Yeah, so
Please educate us.
yeah, so jojoba oil is a type of oil that's used to like help make the beard thicker and fuller. So that's one of the ingredients that we have, because like you see, it says growth beard oil. We're trying to we're not trying to guarantee like, oh, it's going to be big. We're trying to provide that consistent growth so that you can feel the patches within the beard. And one of those small drops, like they say, one small drop of water leads to a mighty ocean. So that's where we have the jojoba oil. And then we also have the Jamaican black castor oil, which helps to make the beard have a more fuller appearance. So using those two things are just some of the things that you have to look at when choosing the ingredients, because I could have just said, oh, I'm putting minoxidil, and minoxidil is just that chemical that will help you grow hair instantly. But I also have to understand who my audience is. My audience is not someone that's like looking to Target or the big corporations for hair growth. They are looking for like homemade remedies that have less harmful chemicals, because sometimes even in the food we eat, we'll see something like xanthan gum. Like, what is xanthan gum? You know, do you go to the store? Today I feel like eating xanthan gum. Let me. So I wanted to make people more aware of like. Yes, so those are some of the things that I look for when tailoring the chemicals and just understanding the benefits of what I'm putting. Yeah, the ingredients, not the chemicals.
I would like just to know a little bit about how you innovated on this product because
Yeah.
I have my brother. We've been using one of the products. I'm not going to provide a name. Today we're going to go.
Okay.
Yeah. What is make Guapo different?
Yeah. So now,
There's so many brands on this market. What you bring that's make this product different?
yes, number one, you will not find any product that aims to tackle hair growth and maintenance that uses West African and ancient African ingredients. That's one thing that separates Guapo from other companies. Number two, we are in the business of providing confidence. We don't just want to sell you growth. We don't just want to sell you softening, moisturizing. No, we want to give you something that will make you proud. Something that because you use this beard oil consistently and persistently with patience, you can marvel at yourself for the hard work that you've put in. And now, because you did put in that hard work, you're more confident in your ability to stand out. And that's what Guapo Essential, just like the name, it stood out. So if you use the product, you're going to stand out because of the confidence that you derive from using West African ancient ingredients persistently to help achieve the goals that you set out. So that's one of the things that, sets us apart because we could have just been like any beard care brand. But me being African, him being Latino, we know that confidence is something, especially here in America, this is not our country. Confidence is something that's very, very big.
I just have a question, a little bit about businesses. How we like business?
Oh, yeah, me too.
What do you think about businesses today, the way that the world is going? Because we see that a lot of big companies try to keep the business for them.
Right.
For example, I have a friend who started a digital marketing agency in Africa. What do you guys think about businesses for youngest, the youngest people today in America or in the world?
Well, so you have to think about it. It's like just like we were the generation that's gonna supposed to take the world to the next step. In our parents' age, the young folks are the folks that are or the kids that are gonna take our world to the next level. So I think, I don't know. I mean, I want to say this because it's important. I think there's so many people that I meet, talk to, and I feel like 9 out of 10 people say they want to start a business or a side business or something. But maybe out of those 9 people, 1 or 2 people actually commit to doing it. And a lot of the times, I think a lot of people are scared when it comes to starting a business. And or they have many business ideas and they can't commit to one. Thus going into analysis paralysis and not being able to begin anything.
That's really important because when you don't have like a clear idea on what you want to do, you're not gonna do something on businesses.
Yeah, and I love what you say because, and I'm one of those who is about to start a business.
Congratulations.
It's important. It's so important because I was following like a podcast and they were talking about the importance of like educating yourself before you start your business. Like, what's the basic requirement that you need? And I'm going to give an example of YouTube. The whole YouTube, I just like the title of what I was looking into. Man, the education is like,
Oh yeah.
And I started taking notes, and it's like, there's new stuff. And I'm like filing so much information to the point where I had to like stop myself and think, okay, so when am I gonna actually start like my first step, like a while you see what I mean? Like, how am I gonna learn about this stuff? The information is there, it's just like still overwhelming.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I like what you're saying that like there's gotta be a point where it's like go for it.
Yeah, that's really important because when I start our connection, I was like, why am I going to do this? I need to meet the right people. So based on that, based on my trend, I was like, let me do something about businesses. Let me do something about Africans. Because it's really important. We came here to America and we need to impact. We need to show up that
Yes.
these people are here. I usually read books. Like one of my books, I will teach you how to be rich. It's from a guy from India. And in Texas, there's so many Indian people coming here and succeed.
Yeah.
And I was like, we need Africans also to be more focused on this kind of idea.
That's true.
So that's why I was like, let's start this thing.
Yeah, and congratulations for starting it, because I know there's someone that's out there that's watching and is also thinking like, I want to start my own business. I want to start my own podcast that talks about business. And if they watch your channel, they may be inspired and actually take that first step.
You can do that. It's easy. The only thing is that move on.
Yes.
And also too is like, I think if more people actually take action with their entrepreneurial mindset and start to create businesses, I think it obviously calls for competition, right? You know, I think sometimes people are like, oh, there's a lot of competition in this. Well, that opens that opens your mind to like, okay, how can I innovate? How can I make myself stand out? And obviously that's going to bring growth to the market or whatever you're trying to do.
So
Yeah.
I see Guapo Essential,
Guapo Essentials, yes.
but explain. It says essentials. What are we looking like? Is it something that's projected in the future? Like, are you trying to give us a piece of like nuggets of what's coming? Because it's just
In a sense, yes.
essentials. I feel like there's more coming. Is
Yeah,
there a plan behind this?
there actually is.
Oh,
And to summarize all of it, it's like obviously guapo, like you said, means handsome in Spanish, and everybody has their own beauty or their own handsomeness. I don't even know. I don't even know how to word this.
yes.
But you know, you obviously need tools to make you feel and look handsome. Whether because you don't have to be the most attractive person to be handsome.
Like you were saying, Guapo or Guapo.
Yeah. But it's essentially we're here to supply people with the tools to so they can feel handsome.
I just want to know, how do you balance like entrepreneurial journey and social media? I tried and it's not easy.
Yes.
How do you like balance between both of them to be like on business
Right.
and presence in social media?
Good question, because that's something that like I've struggled with for the longest. And then on top of that, you also have to understand I also have like a 9 to 5, so just balancing time is really, really crucial. So for me, how I balance my time is using schedules and also delegating tasks to other people so that they can do the things that I don't have to spend time with. So for example, I don't know if you guys have heard of this. It's called a Kaizen board. So Kaizen is a Japanese term for continuous growth or continuous improvement. So what it is like a project management board where you have categories of things that you want to do. Like you have your goal. Why do you need this goal? Things you need to accomplish, as well as dates. So for me, for example, one of my goals is to consistently post on social media. And that's something that I've been doing really well since last year, because if I'm posting consistently, I can grow. I don't have to focus on, what am I going to do to what am I going to post? So what I did was, I want to grow consistently. In order to do that, I have to post about 3 times a day. Now, obviously, I can't post 3 times a day because I have to like work. I have to come home, family, and then my social life. So then in order to tackle that, I can have a posting schedule. I can have virtual assistants to post for me so that I can have more time to do things. Having someone, okay, you're going to post it, you're going to do the comments, and you're also going to do the shares, so that way I'm not always posting, because if I'm always posting, how am I going to spend time with friends? If I'm always posting, how am I going to have a self-care day for me, or even a day for me to just learn and educate myself, So using a Kaizen board helped me out with balancing my time, and also just having a calendar, like you have your phone, putting things on your calendar, putting the alarm, using project management tools such as Trello. For all the business people that are out there, if you try and use just your notepad, and it's good, but seeing something digitally will work. So just having those tools like a Kaizen board, Trello, using technology, it helps me balance my time, because now I know how every hour of my time is allocated, and I can also delegate tasks so that I don't have to do everything.
That's really important. I think I also do a little bit the same way
Mhm.
because posting on YouTube, posting on social media, and also Spotify for the podcast
Yeah.
really taking time. So I try to get most online tools
Yes.
that me like provide those video on different platforms at the same time. So I don't have to go to Instagram, I don't have to go to TikTok
Right.
or something like that. The platform is going to have me provide all the video I need to post on social media, for example. It's going to be right there.
Yeah, and also to add on to that, I wanted to add this real quick. There's this recent concept that I've been using. It's called I think 11 or 12 week calendar, where you plan your whole year for 12 weeks rather than like, 12 months. So now you plan things according to the quarter. Like, for example, half of this, I can say this for transparency reason, half of the things that we said we wanted to do for Guapo Essentials this year, as well as our external businesses, like he talked about launching Moon Vision, we all did that because we have planned for like our 12 weeks. So just in one quarter, and the quarter is not even over, we are able to accomplish a lot. So I think also just making sure that you plan your year by quarters. You plan your year with the 12 weeks rather than the whole 12 months. It will help you get a lot of things done more faster, while also making sure that you get the big information done. For example, like you talked about the social media tools and all of that, if you have a 12-week calendar, like now you can even have a 30-day content calendar of where you know what videos you want to make for 30 days, you know what videos you're going to post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So now it's like, yeah, so now you don't have to be like, what am I going to post today, what am I going to record? You can even have your guests lined up or your topics lined up, so that you're doing less while working smarter.
Yeah. That's going to the next question I would like to ask. What advice you going to provide to those who try to launch their business? Do you have like an advice?
Great question. Personally speaking, I think just personal growth, always focusing on personal growth, whether it's reading, listening to YouTube videos, making observation as to what's going on around with like competition or around the world, but ultimately just doing it, really like that's what it is. I mean, it does involve planning, it does involve forecasting, it does involve all these other things, but I think just doing it and changing your mindset really helped me, because I don't know, I probably, and people who know me who are probably gonna listen to this are gonna say, oh yeah, I remember he said he was gonna do this but he never did it. And I can say that to myself, because there's many people that we say things but we never do it. Now my mindset is, if I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna find a way to do it. And just like if I want to do fitness, if I want to become more fit, I'm gonna plan and do it.
And that brings another question to me. It's for both of you. I don't know which one's gonna pick and respond to it, or both of you. But do you feel like you have gained more knowledge learning while you go, or you feel like you have gained more knowledge before you actually make mistakes? Like, I know it's cliche, we say you make less mistakes and you learn this.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel like you're learning more when you just throw yourself into like those mistakes, or do you feel like you learn more being mentored or having other people inspiring you? How does it feel? And I know this is a personal thing. How does it feel for you guys? Learning more
I mean, for
From mistake while jumping in it or learning more by.
So I think I can give like an example of myself.
Yeah.
So when I start, for example, working on our connection, it was like since 2020. The idea was there, but I was not able to make it. Why, for example? I think it's really important to invest first on what you plan to do. And the first investment is in you, for example. I started learning how to do video, for example. I started to learn how to do scripts, like to write scripts. And I also started how to make like a video really beautiful. And then from there, I learned how to edit a video, for example. So I think it's really important to learn first before starting a business.
And saying that because this is something that I stumble upon a lot of times when people say you either go and learn from your mistakes, or you just hold off and look for someone who's made it and have them teach you. That's why, like, what is your take on it?
that's a good question.
To me, I strongly believe in incorporating both because I'm a big advocate of learning because I believe education is elevation. So, yes, it's good to like learn first, but as you're learning, it's also equally as important to apply what you're learning rather than just learn and keep that information there because if you don't apply, that's you not putting yourself into the wolves because once you start learning the knowledge that you get, you're going to take that knowledge, you're going to go outside of your comfort zone because that's where growth is. When you go outside of your comfort zone, you're going to have times where you succeed and times where you fail. You need both of those elements. And it's from the failure that you learn, like, oh, wow, this is something that this is what the book that I read taught me about. So I strongly believe in incorporating both where you do learn, but as you learn, you apply the knowledge that you've learned and then go outside of your comfort zone and try this knowledge because it's outside of your comfort zone where you realize the most growth.
That's really true. And right now, I'm working on my next big thing. I've never been on this journey. Is like creating software. So
Oh, nice.
I can do it because I don't know how to.
Yeah,
But the way that you say, let me learn it and at the same time let me do it.
exactly.
I try to do it at the same time I'm learning. And when I'm like talking with my friend at work, the software dev, they're like, Billy, you don't know how to do, man.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, wait, maybe in a couple months, you're gonna see that.
exactly.
That's really important.
Of course.
And you're right, you think like mistakes, learning, mentorship, building off.
I mean, for me, personally, I like to get dirty. But at the same time, too, is before I jump into anything, I've been saying just do it. But obviously, like as I mentioned before, there's some planning that's involved, right? So I try to educate myself as at least like what I call the basic outline of or the business that I'm trying to jump into, or what all is involved. And at the same time, like he said, just getting dirty and trying it out, just learning as I'm going. And at the end of it, I don't know, for me, it brings more satisfaction because you're like, okay, I failed, but now I learned from my mistake. The goal is to not make the same mistake twice.
Yes.
And also taking into consideration mentors, taking into consideration what I learned through reading or through the failures of others. Because really, I mean, those are the two main ways to learn. You learn directly or you learn indirectly through somebody else.
And then second of all, March 2nd or March 3rd? March 2nd, we're having an exclusive, only happening once, self-care and Guapo Essentials launch day party. So that's where you'll be able to get your hands on our newest products as well as some other complementary products. And the website is going to be something you've never seen before. So March 2nd, have that date on lockdown, attend our exclusive launch party, and get ready to be guapolized.
What's the future for the product? What do you guys plan for the future? What's the new future?
You're asking what's cooking.
Was cooking.
So the future of it is to grow it, obviously, to really establish our brand in the marketplace and really just distribute it, and not just the current platforms that we're on, just expand more, because if you know, whatever shoes you have on now, if they were able to get into your home, we want to be able to do the same. And aside from just these two products, you know, we also want to add other self-care products that, you know, you guys will see pretty soon and on our website, which is www.guapoessentials.com. That's our website. But essentially is our goal is to grow, and we want our customers, which, by the way, if you've ever purchased from us, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting us.
Merci beaucoup.
Ya me dase, gracias, danke.
And also, I really wanted to add on to that, because that's something that, you know, growth is our very basic tenement. We also want to be the number one leading provider of confidence with regards to hair and skincare. So we are going to transition into an all-encompassing brand that deals with skincare. The skincare for the guy who always wants to take care of their skin, but they only find 3-in-1 products for men. We want to encompass ourselves to the woman, because most of our customers, surprisingly, even this is something that it blows my mind today, but I'm grateful to God that it happens. Whenever we go to events, the women, they'll come and they'll be like, oh, what is this? And then they'll buy. And it's like, but I made this for men. And it's like, and then it just made me realize that men, confident men, bring out the best in women, and women are attracted to confidence. So I want to create we are committed to creating products both for the hair and the skin that will bring the confidence out of men, as well as the women that love confidence. So for the future, be prepared to see beard oil, hair oil, skincare products such as, I don't know, she keeps on telling me the name, but
you're gonna blow the surprise.
yeah, I'll blow the surprise, but I'm so excited. But yeah, skincare and hair care is what we're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Guapo, it's like more essentials.
Yeah, I mean, the end goal too is to help people feel confident, because I mean, just like when you go get a haircut, don't you feel good like afterwards?
Right.
I feel like a brand new man.
Yeah.
Like Jose the barber, thank you very much for doing an amazing job.
That means more shows for us.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're good now. We appreciate your time, and thank you so much.
Yes.
I think it's now.
Yeah, and if you're okay, I want to end just a quick little note. You know, if you know somebody who's starting a business, or your friend, your neighbor, somebody has started a small business, I'm gonna use one word: support. It's very easy for you to go to Walmart and just get whatever's on the shelf, but you know that somebody on the outside, like your neighbor, friend, family, really put their time, dedication, so much effort into putting this product, you know, to bring it to life. So I would say support, give them feedback. You know, these big companies, they have plenty of cash, but why not support somebody who's, you know, really put their heart and soul into it?
Yes. I'd also like to end on one note. If there are any people, entrepreneurs, business owners, someone who's trying to start a business, I just have 3 words for you. Just have patience. In due time, everything will come along. You just have to keep on going and going. But remember, Rome was not built in one day. Your business will not succeed in one day. Probably after the 5th year, that's when you start to see a huge return on your investment. Yes, that's very important, because if they didn't have patience, imagine if you just gave up on the first year. who knew what would lie ahead? Who knows what this potential company could have helped so many people? So it's very important that in anything that you do, you have to have patience, because patience is the key that unlocks success.
So be supportive and just be patient.
That's really good part. Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you, Awali 360. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.